Hello friends, this is Deepak, and with me again we have a wonderful CPA of our Bay Area, Mr. Sanjeev ji. And in our last video we talked quite a bit about Indian budget, and there were some follow-up questions, so I want to make sure I ask those questions to Sanjeev ji and get those answers to you. Now, as always, if there is a subject matter that you would like me to discuss, please leave it in your comments, or you can reach out to me directly on WhatsApp, and I can obviously get those questions answered for you in the next video. Those of you guys who don't know Sanjeev ji is a certified public accountant here in the state of California, but he does business with people from all over the world. So if you are in India watching this video, maybe perhaps you're planning on moving to the United States, or you're in a different state for that matter, or maybe you have a business, you can always set up a meeting online on Zoom. So just go to sanjeevcpa.com and you can set up a meeting there. If you're looking for setting up a life insurance retirement plan, you can reach out to me. My website is mywealthguards.com. So those are your two resources to get hold of both of us. But let's continue our conversation about Indian budget. So some of you guys asked me that where does these tax people come up with fancy abbreviations, right? So the new abbreviation that is in talk after this budget is LRS. Almost sounds like some sort of terminology which an IT guy would use, but this time it's the financial guys who are using that term. So Sanjeev ji, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about LRS and how does that impact NRIs? Wow, that's two terms in one sentence.
Yeah, so LRS is a Liberalised Remittance Scheme. This has been there since a long time. It's been used by the Reserve Bank of India for remitting money from India for non-residents, or for purposes sending money outside India. So under the LRS scheme strategy, not a strategy scheme, it's important to understand a few things. Number one, a resident Indian, the definition of resident Indian who is not a non-resident Indian, is a person who is a citizen of India and living in India. A resident of India, a resident Indian sending money abroad for education, for marriage purpose, for any other supporting purposes, they can remit up to 250,000 US dollars in one Indian fiscal year. Fiscal year is in India is from April 1st to March 31st. So you can any resident can give money up to $250,000 in one fiscal year from their tax-paid sources. They have to, of course, make sure that they have money in the account, and also make sure that they have a chartered accountant. They get a chartered CA certificate, Form 15CA, Form 15CB. Based on that certificate, they can remit up to $250,000 every fiscal year. Now, that's one thing. Second thing is, if you are a non-resident Indian, non-resident people who have been living outside India for more than 2 years, if you're a non-resident Indian, you can transfer money from India under the LRS scheme up to $1 million if the non-resident is a US citizen. Remember, non-resident can be Indian citizen, can be US citizen. If a non-resident is a US citizen, then you can remit money from India up to $1 million per Indian fiscal year. So not $250,000. The third thing is, if the resident Indian, if he can give a gift of money, can give gift to the people here, like their relatives and kids, grandkids, the remittance amount they can do also is the same amount of $250,000. $1 million for US citizens, non-resident. Indian resident is $250K. Non-resident Indian, not US citizen but Indian citizen, they have to follow the same rule of $250,000. So this LRS scheme is meant for how much money can be transferred outside India to any country. You should also remember this. India is very strong in foreign exchange reserve, means they monitor every dollar sent out from India. So keep a close watch on that one. So it's important to follow these guidelines under the LRS scheme and make sure that you do the right thing. Now, if you have a property in India and you sell the property and the property is more than $500,000, like 10 crores or 20 crores or whatever, and in that case you want to bring money, so you have to follow the rule. Like I said, $250,000 per owner. If you have two owners, you can bring $500,000. So this is how the rules work. in India regarding when it comes to LRS scheme for the non-resident Indians.
So thank you, Sanjeevji, very much. I know there are many more questions on the budget, so if you want, watch our other videos. Sanjeevji kind of covered a lot of aspects of the Indian budget in that video. One of the most exciting budgets, I guess, in last several years.
Definitely, it's a very good budget. Like I said earlier, with the Indian budget, it's a very good balancing of reduction in taxes with no increase in taxes. That's how I'll put this budget as.
Yeah, and my personal talk, I don't know if you, Sanjeevji, you watched the interview of our finance minister, and one of the things she said was that look at the policies. Well, she didn't really name United States, but she was clearly referring to the US, that how we printed money here, and that led us to like huge inflation, and India is still largely protected from it.
I think India was very good in handling the COVID scenarios, and now they are playing the diplomacy game between the US and Russia, and they are trying to get this benefit of oil prices at a lower level.
Correct.
All this.
Yeah, so I think they did very well by kind of managing all different aspects of things. They did a lot of subsidy for food and other items to all the poor people in India. That was awesome. That helped a lot of people at that time. They did not really went on to print a lot of money and start depositing in the account. So that helped.
Yeah. So if you think about printing money under the CARES Act, about $2 trillion were printed out. That's money given to a lot of people. So.
Yeah, and I think it's like easy to say, but it's kind of hard to imagine how much money that is. That's a lot of money, and we will have to deal with that inflation issue for many years to come. I don't think this is a problem we're going to get rid of anytime soon.
Yes.
So anyhow, that's the question on this one. I have few other questions, but I'll make a separate video for that. So thank you so much. Stay with us. If you have any questions, concerns, leave it in the comments, and I'll definitely make sure that I get those questions answered for you. And I'll strongly recommend that if you are watching this, join my WhatsApp group. Send us a message on through our website, either through sanjeevcpa.com or mywealthguard.com. You can reach out to me there, and I'll add you to my WhatsApp group, so you can always reach out to me, ask any questions you have, and obviously then I go out there and try to find those answers either by talking to Sanjeevji, or we have a lot of other professionals in our network. They come on and make videos with us on a regular basis. So I try my best to get those answers back to you.